All right. All right. So we're using H5P in Pressbooks today. So the goals of this training or this workshop are basically creating and embedding H5P activities in Pressbooks. And our goal is to enhance reader engagement with interactive elements. So what is H5P? If you're not familiar with the tool, it's a tool, an assessment tool, a formative assessment tool to create and share and reuse interactive content in instructional materials in general. And we're also being focused today on using it in Pressbooks. And it supports various content types such as quizzes, games, presentations, etc. So why use it in Pressbooks? Because it integrates interactivity into textbooks, and it's a good comprehension check, etc., uh, to engage the reader, uh, and also enhance learning with engaging content that is easy to use. And finally, through the new LTI integration with Canvas, you could also use H5P activities, which you have embedded in your content in Canvas and integrated with a gradebook as well. So what types of activities you can create? You can create interactive videos, quizzes, and assessments, fill in the blanks exercises, drag and drop games, and a host of other activities. So best use cases include checkpoints in textbooks for quizzes and also interactive elements in educational resources in general. All right, so going forward, I'd like to move away from the slide deck and into my browser to demo how to create H5P activities. But to go over the process really quickly, all we need to do to create H5P activities in Pressbooks is a Pressbooks account with H5P enabled, which we have one at Texas A&M Open Digital Publishing Platform. So we're covered. And then you have 6 steps to do this. You basically need to scroll down to H5P content on your navigation menu and select new. Then you need to select the content type from the menu, or you upload your downloaded activity because you might have found this activity through another Pressbooks or another content and you have downloaded it. And now you can also upload it to Pressbooks and to H5P content selector to reuse that activity. Or just create one from scratch right here. That's what we're going to do today. So the third step would be filling out the activity parts in, then click create, which will generate an ID, which you would copy into your text, wherever in the text you would like the activity to show. And that's it. You're done. Your activity is created. All right, so I'm going to move away from here, exit out of the slideshow, and show you a book chapter that I'm currently working on. As you can see, I'm in Pressbooks. I've created some content. I have headings, I have text, I have a video, I have an image, and at the end, I also have a check your understanding section with a little code which corresponds to an H5P activity that I have already created. I'm going to put the link to this chapter in the chat as well for you to check it out if you'd like. And you can see that corresponds to this multiple choice quiz. which asks, what does the acronym CALL stand for? And I have 4 alternatives or options that I can select. So Canadian Association of Law Libraries, Chicago Association of Law Libraries, Center for Army Lessons Learned, and Computer Assisted Language Learning. I know the correct answer is Computer Assisted Language Learning, and I can select it and click check to get feedback on my selection. Yeah, that's just an example of an H5P activity. So now let's go ahead and create one together. So as I said earlier, so in order to create an H5P activity, I'm going to go back to my chapter and click edit because I have access to it and I have created it and I can make changes in it. So let's imagine I'd like to create another activity here. So all I need to do is to click Add H5P, the button here, to load a list of already created H5P assessments on the network. So you can see we have a host of them already created. And once you create an activity, that would be added to this list as well. I could simply insert those if they work for me. But if not, I'm going to go ahead and scroll down to the H5P content on the navigation menu and then click Add New, where I'll be presented with this interface, which allows me to create my own H5P content. As you can see, there's a list of the activities I can select from. There are 21 results, and I can select one based on my need. So a drag and drop activity, a drag the words, image hotspots, etc., etc. So let's go with something simple. Let's go with a true or false question just to check things out for the purpose of demonstration. All H5P activities basically give you an interface to type in your title, your questions, your correct answers, and you have some behavioral settings to set, and you also have some text overrides and translations if you'd like to create an activity which is also in different languages. Yes, let's create one. So what is the title? And I could say, I would call this activity technology assisted learning. And then what is my question? So that's the title, which allows for the activity to be searched and reports to be generated based on it. And now I can add media to it, optional media to display above the question. I could add an image, I could add a video or audio for better accessibility or multimodality in teaching and learning terms, if you think that it's a good decision and if it's a good addition to this activity to make it more understandable. So the question would be, it's a true or false question. So I could say, tell, so tall, let's say tall. Tall is an acronym associated with and blank. And then the correct answer would be true. So it's a true. So tall is an acronym associated with technology assisted learning. So it's a true or false question. So we would need the student to choose whether it's true or false. And yeah, the this is the correct answer. And I could enable a retry button. I could enable show solution button, and then show confirmation dialog on check, and show confirmation dialog on retry, or automatically check answer. So, and as you can see, there are also some little snippets about accessibility under each choice. So for instance, here it says, note that accessibility will suffer if enabling this option. So it's a good idea to also be mindful of accessibility and uh, uh, take heed of these little notes. So feedback on correct answer. So you could provide some form of feedback on the correct answer, and also feedback on wrong answer. So as a way to communicate with the reader and the students in most cases. And finally, you could you can edit settings or translate text used in this content. So once you're done with your changes, you could go ahead and click create. And this would create the activity and generate the ID that you would need to create your content, your assessment in the text. As you can see, this is the preview of the assessment we just created. TAL is an acronym associated with technology assisted learning, and the students could choose true or false. So I'm going to go ahead and copy the code and go back to my chapter and place it here. So I already have a multiple choice item, and I also created and added a true or false item to my chapter. So, and I click save, and that should save my activity. And you should probably be able to see it on your end as well. There we go. So under check your understanding, now you have two assessment measures, one a multiple choice question and the other one a true or false question. Let's check and see if it works actually. And it does. So as you can see, under each H5P activity, which you may come across through different Pressbooks publications, you have the option to reuse these assessments. So not so that you don't have to recreate the wheel, so to speak. You can just download it as an H5P file and then upload it to H5P when you're creating the activity. Yes, I think that's it. So I'm going to go ahead and just go back to our slides and just give you a little bit of resources. So this video would show you how to basically complete this process through Pressbooks tutorials. And also, it's also very important to check accessibility, and H5P has this great resource on what types of activities you can use in terms of accessibility, some tools, which one of these content types are accessible, which ones are maintained by the core team, uh, which ones have browser support. So it's always a good idea to check. Here, this page on H5P website to make sure the tools you're using in your courses are fully accessible, and make sure the students have access to them. All students have access to them. So that's it for me. I'm going to go ahead and stop recording, and then if there are any questions, we'll chat.